All right, Shalom Akim, Shalom, Shalom. This is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Come with another lesson to the Spirit, and Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. All right, before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who teach well. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. To you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. But your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. All right, I want to say peace and blessings to you all. Barakatham. Okay, so this is going to be another episode of Measuring the Times. Okay, and as I get down with every episode, I want to get this started in the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9. Starting at the top of verse 1, it says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also in the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. All right, so we're getting started with this article here from Wired.com. And it says the doomsday clock is now 85 seconds to midnight. Here's what that means. Catastrophic risks are increasing. Cooperation is declining. All right, and swift action is needed from global leaders to correct course. Okay? But we know, according to prophecy, there is no correcting course, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? We're moving forward. Okay, we're moving ever closer to the end of this world, to the end of this age. Okay? So the doomsday clock has just been set to 85 seconds to midnight. Nearly 80 years ago, all right, Salaki, nearly 80 years after its creation, this time represents the closest the clock has ever been to midnight. All right, this was reported by the bulletin of the Atomic Scientists Science and Security Board, the expert council that annually updates the clock's hands. This year, the group highlighted the growing threat of nuclear weapons, disruptive technologies such as AI, multiple concerns about biosecurity, and the persistent climate crisis. All right, I don't need to go into any more than that. Actually, I think that's good. That's it. So that's all that's necessary. Okay, but the time is coming, man, where all right, prophecy is about to truly shake up this world, man. You know, about to truly shake up this world, and we can clearly see that that job of the prophets is almost finished. All right, our job is almost done. All right, well, you got all these jokers out here who's focused on things that are nonsensical. You know what I'm saying? Going on podcasts and whatnot. You know, none of that is necessary. All right, none of that is edifying the sheep. And now more than ever, the sheep have to be edified. They have to be given the warning. All right, because this thing is about to pop off. Okay. And when it does, there's no going backwards. Okay? Let's get this here. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 3. Okay? Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17. It reads, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, Thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him no warning, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked ways, to save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. You see, so this is not a game to us. You know what I'm saying? We, the prophets, begin with our apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone on down. All right, we take this work very seriously. We take it deathly seriously. You know what I'm saying? All right. And there's no time. All right, there's no time other than now to get yourselves prepared and take heed to the words of the prophets, because this thing is not going to go, it's not going to go quietly. It's not going to go smoothly. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be loud. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rugged. It's going to be chaotic. You see? When this dollar collapses, okay? When this dollar collapses, it's over. Okay? When war, when World War kicks up, it's over. When they implement this mark of the beast, this MOTB, it's over, man. You see what I'm saying? It's gotten so bad now to where, all right, on TikTok, if you say the EP, the EP name, you know what I'm saying, that's associated with particular files, then, you know, you will be flagged immediately. Okay, so this word is about to be gone. Okay, this is the famine of the word that's inching ever closer. So you're running out of time, man. Matter of fact, let's go to the book of John. I believe it's John. Let's see. Salakia. Or perhaps it's Luke. I think it might be Luke. Let's see. No, so that's not it. Let me look this up real quick. All right, this is John chapter 9 and verse 4. I was right there. How about that? John chapter 9 verse 4. All right, it reads, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. All right, so that night is coming. Midnight is coming. Okay, the darkness is coming. The daytime is leaving. Right? The daytime is leaving. The day is far spent, man. You know, there's not much more that we can tell you. It's not much more that we can warn you about. Okay? All right. The day is leaving you. And all there's going to be left is prophecy. All right. Which is judgment. The day of the Lord, man. Romans 13:11. And that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. You see what I'm saying? It's time to take this thing very, very seriously. Okay? We're out here to prophesy to the elect. Okay? We're speaking to all Israel, but we're out here to reach the elect, man. And only the elect are going to take heed to the words. And if you're listening, if you do not know the names of your Heavenly Father and His beloved Son, okay, the name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. It's not God. It's not it's not Yahuwah. It's not Jehovah. It's not Ahiah. It's Yahweh. Yahweh. Okay? You have to pray to the Lord. You have to pray to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, all right, in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai. So that's Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. That's the name of the Son, Yahweh Shai. Not Jesus, not Yeshua, not Yeshaya. You see what I'm saying? Not Yehoshua. His name is Yahweh Shai. You see what I'm saying? All right, as is written in the book of Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 4, man, what is his name and what is his son's name? So let me get this in the NLT, Romans chapter 9. All right, excuse me, chapter 13, verse 11. All right, Romans 13:11 in the NLT. It says, this is all the more urgent for you to know how late it is. Time is running out. Wake up, for our salvation is nearer now than when we first believed. You see that? Verse 12. The night is almost gone. The day of salvation will soon be here. So remove your dark deeds like dirty cloths and put on the shining armor of right living. You see what I'm saying? You don't have a lot of time left. So let's get this going. Let's go to the first article real quick. Bear with me. All right, this is from RT News. It says volcanic eruption in Russia sends ash 7 kilometers high. The event has triggered aviation alerts over the Kamchatka Peninsula and neighboring regions. Salaki if I mispronounced that. It says a volcanic eruption on this peninsula in Russia's far east has sent a massive plume of ash high into the sky, which has traveled dozens of kilometers away from the site, prompting aviation warnings in the region. You see what I'm saying? This is those earthquakes, man. Okay, this is the shaking of the planet, man. Okay, why? Because the time is coming. The time is coming. Right? Let's see if I can find this real quick. Let's see. It's lucky. I am trying to move pretty fast. All right, so let's get this in the book of Psalms, chapter 11 and verse 6. It says, "Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup." You know what I'm saying? And the ultimate plague is going to be when those nukes finally drop. You know what I'm saying? But the world is seeing the signs that the Lord has given us. You see what I'm saying? To let us know that the time is at hand. You know what I'm saying? The time's at hand. The the prophecies are moving forward, man. So get your acts together, man. Get your minds right. Okay? Prepare for the Lord's coming. You Jakes, man, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, and you speckled bird Israelites scattered abroad throughout the entire world, whose lineage goes back to these people through your fathers. Let's go to the next article. All right, this is from Citizen Watch Report. It says a war has erupted on the streets of America, and it is going to end with martial law in major U.S. cities. All right, the writing is on the wall. This is the only outcome. You see what I'm saying? Where we are now literally in the totalitarian situation here. Okay, as the scriptures say, that these Egyptians would be put in the hands of a cruel Lord. Real quick, let's go to Isaiah chapter 19. All right, Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. This is that war. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians." All right, and this is that modern day Egyptian, that modern day Egypt, right? As the scriptures say, which spiritually is known as Sodom and Egypt, that would be America. "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." Jumping down to verse 4, "And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts." All right? It says chaos has erupted in the streets of major cities all over this country, and it appears that we have reached a boiling point, which could cause events to completely spiral out of control. We knew that there was no way that the Trump administration was going to back down on immigration enforcement. And we knew that there was no way that the left was going to back down and allow ICE to conduct mass deportations without resistance. In fact, the left now has response teams that literally operate like military units in cities like Chicago, Minneapolis, and New York City. Okay? So this is the beginning phase of the purge. So it was inevitable that we would see more violent confrontations. And now another protester has died. The left is promising to fight back harder than ever. And President Trump is seriously considering invoking the Insurrection Act. As both sides continue to raise the stakes, it is just a matter of time before this crisis ends with martial law in major U.S. cities. Let's go here to 2nd Esdras. Second Esdras chapter 15 and verse 15. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation." And we're about to see the famine. When this dollar crashes, when this economy falls, there's going to be a complete ripple effect throughout the entire world. The global financial institution is going to fall apart. You see, this is that great reset.
Hey guys, Dabu7. We've got a lot going on with the markets out there, and the US dollar is falling big time. It's fallen to the 14-year support level. You can see here on this graph. Once it breaks down through this, it's no man's land, and it can free fall for a long time. When this happens, this means that the cost of living and basically the power of the dollar is falling out. Cost of living is going to rise, power of the dollar falling out. And this goes hand in hand with what you're seeing with gold, silver, and all the precious metals. People are diving into them big time. But we've got big industries out here making moves, stopping people from getting their hands or even selling. Some people like scratching their heads like, why can we not even sell to some of these places? Well, like APMEX, their CEO just came out and announced a $20,000 minimum to sell your silver to them. That's up from the $10,000. And then you have Kitco putting a $5,000 limit on orders. And huge moves here that are pretty much unprecedented. We just witnessed gold and silver jump up and break not only records, but they hit these benchmarks that we talked about, the 51 and the 100. Gold's done just that. It surged past 51, and silver ran all the way up to like 118, pulled back. It's going to continue its tear as well. If bombs drop in any of these settings, whether it's Venezuela, Cuba, Iran, anything like that big on the world stage, you can expect gold and silver to continue to run. Now, Tether, if you missed it, they came out and they made a big move in terms of launching USAT. This is a federally regulated dollar-backed stablecoin for the U.S. market. It's official, okay? If you missed the news on the Genius Act, what they did is they connected the U.S. dollar to all these stable coins before any other country could do it. And Tether just came out with a huge move and announced they were going to back their Tether with a 1/1000th of gold, which is huge because anything backed by gold that you can redeem and get that gold is going to be utilized over anything else that you can't. This may be the closest you ever see us get a gold standard connected to the dollar, but it will not be to the dollar. They could have done that very easy, but they didn't, because this is not just de-dollarization. This is de-fiatization. They are killing the fiat around the globe. This is the move. Kill the dollar, fiat, all in one swoop. And it's not so much to kill the dollar all in all, it's to initiate this reset, to get it pushed onto this digital system, if you will, the blockchain system.
And that's the point. That's the point. Okay? So all this is leading to the ultimate goal, man. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 19. And Salakia, like I said, I am kind of rushing to get this through. But this is Ezekiel chapter 7 verse 19. In the KJV it reads, "They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity." In the NLT it reads, "They will throw their money in the streets, tossing it out like worthless trash. Their silver and gold won't save them on that day of the Lord's anger. It will neither satisfy nor feed them, for their greed can only trip them up. All right. So we're coming into these times where the dollar is about to crash. And when it does, all right, expect to see a loaf of bread go for about $50. You see? And that's when it's going to start to hit home for a lot of people. You know? This is why they're getting all these troops in every state. You know what I'm saying? It's to get you familiarized with seeing troops everywhere. Because they're going to control the masses and they're going to control the chaos, all right, when all this happens. All right, this is from Citizen Watch Report. It says Labour opens the door to 15-minute cities across the UK. Okay? Remember, all roads lead to the ultimate goal, which is the MOTB. All right? The mark of the beast. All right, so this is a new system that's going to take over, and it's going to be completely run with artificial intelligence, smart cities. Okay, it's going to be the new standard of living. Okay, and in order for you to participate, you are going to have to be initiated by the use of a particular device going underneath your skin. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. See? This is from Bohemian Atmosphere. He says, open up your arms to your conspiracy theorist friend, give them a hug and say you're sorry. You see, because now the writing's on the wall. You can't ignore this anymore. And we're going to see these false prophets doing backpedals, doing backflips like crazy. You see what I'm saying? To try and save face. You're already seeing it in Bishop Nathaniel. Okay, and I've already shown the evidence that he's come up against this prophecy. He's come up against the prophets, you know what I'm saying, for years concerning this particular prophecy that I just read to you. Okay, and it's not just him. It's General Yohana. It's Priest Zabak. It's Brother Naquam. You see what I'm saying? It's Captain Tazariak. It's all the above, you know what I'm saying? It's Chief Ephraim, okay? Ratazan Saran. It's all of these false prophets. You see what I'm saying? Bishop Jephthah from one body. They all came against, all right, the true teachings coming from Great Millstone. Okay? But now we can see it. Now we can see it. The scriptures say that that this thing will not tarry. All right, the vision will no longer tarry, man. It will surely come. It says Labour has approved the rollout of Stalinist 15-minute cities across the UK. The Telegraph can reveal. Ministers have said that they will allow councils to use driver license databases to impose fines on drivers who fall foul of traffic filters, which restrict driving in certain areas. The controls on motorists, which are to be implemented for the first time in Oxford City Centre later this year, have been described as perverse by motor groups. The 15-minute city is based on the idea that a person can access amenities within a quarter of an hour by walking or cycling. In some cases, this could result in traffic restrictions being brought in for drivers. Predictive programming on the future. Okay, and they've shown us all throughout the years, man. All throughout the years. Okay. District 9, Hunger Games, HT Little Lost. Okay. Salaki. Salaki. But yeah, it's just a couple of examples. As a matter of fact, I could think of a couple, you know what I'm saying? Running Man, you know, Total Recall. You see? So we've seen these different movies, you know what I'm saying, showcasing their ambitions throughout these years, man, from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, you know what I'm saying? So we're here now, man. And, you know, this is only going to intensify when all hell breaks loose, you know what I'm saying? When they crash this thing and we enter full blown into Jacob's trouble, because we're already here now. We're in Jacob's trouble. We're about to be in deep in the water, you know what I'm saying? Water up to your chest, up to your nose. That far deep into Jacob's trouble, man. We're entering into these deep waters. Okay? And as a result of the chaos, of the mayhem, of the confusion, then they're going to implement this new system. You see? Next article. All right, this is from RT News. It says, is Washington about to cross the Rubicon with Iran? Carrier groups, covert talks with Israel, and psychological warfare point to a decision that could reshape the Middle East. All right. This week is set to become one of the most intense periods in the course of the U.S.-Iran confrontation. A confrontation of military, political, and psychological factors point to the alarming possibility of a direct U.S. strike against Iran in the coming days. A key indicator of this is that the military preparations for a potential strike have been completed. On Sunday, it became known that the U.S. Navy's USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike group had entered the Middle East region and is located at a distance from which it can launch strikes on Iranian territory. From the military perspective, this shift means the U.S. is moving from a phase of political pressure to one of operational readiness, where a decision to strike could be executed within hours. Okay, and I just read another article where the supreme leader Ayatollah has gone underground. So, you know, we'll see, man. We'll see. Hey, this and we're still in January. We're still in January. It says Tehran's reaction has been strong and unequivocal. The Iranian leadership has warned of a high probability of war breaking out at any moment and stated that the Persian Gulf could erupt within the next 24 hours. This is not mere emotional rhetoric, but a clear stance. Iran is signaling that an American strike will be viewed as the start of a full-scale war, not a limited operation. The Iranian armed forces are on heightened alert, and the country is preparing for the worst. Okay? That's all I need to get from that. All right, you can read the rest. Okay? But the Lord is mustering the host of the battle. You know what I'm saying? It's the Lord's determination to bring all these nations to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. Let's go to Job. Not Job. Joel. Let's see. Come on. All right, Joel chapter 3. And verse 1. Verse 2, it says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right, in the Hebrew, Yahweh Shaphat, which means the Lord's judgment, Yahweh's judgment. Okay? And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. You Israelites, man, you Jakes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, and you speckled birds throughout the world, man, who's been scattered. Think about that. Think about that. All this that's going on, all these articles that I'm reading to you, can you even fathom in your mind that this is all about you? You see what I'm saying? Take some time to reflect on that, to see just how special you are. You see what I'm saying? And that's incentive enough to get your mind together and get your act right. You see what I'm saying? To think that the Lord would go through such great lengths, you see what I'm saying, to come and regather his saints. And he's not coming back for every one of us. He's only coming back for the elect. And Lord willing, I myself am a part of that number. So let's get this. All right. It says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley, into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people. Okay? And it goes on further. But let me get this jumping down. All right, to verse 9. Okay. It reads, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about, thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. You see, it's about to get busy, man. You see? It's about to get busy, man. So let's go to the next article. All right, it says, key allies deny airspace to Trump's beautiful armada. The UAE, all right, the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia have distanced themselves from Washington's potential military action against Iran. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, Iraq doesn't want any part of that too. You know? It says Washington's closest Gulf allies, Saudi Arabia and the UAE, have publicly declared they will not permit their territory or airspace to be used for any U.S. military action against Iran. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman explicitly told Iranian President Mahmoud Pezeshkian in a phone call on Tuesday that the kingdom will not allow its airspace or territory to be used for any military actions against Iran. This followed a similar announcement on Monday from the UAE, which stated it would not provide logistical support or serve as a staging ground for hostile military actions against Tehran. So, you know, we're seeing this the distancing of America's allies. Okay, as we told you, America will lose her allies. America will no longer have any friends. You see? But what is ultimately happening here is that the least of the flock is drawing them out. Let's get this real quick. Let's go to Jeremiah. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 20. It reads, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Okay? The Lord is mustering the hosts of the battle, and he's using these small hats, okay, these Amalekites, these so-called JOOs, man. He's using them to draw out all these nations into the valley of Jehoshaphat. And where's the valley of Jehoshaphat? It's all throughout the Levant region, okay, around Qatar and UAE, around that region. You see? So let's go here. All right. Last article. All right, this is from Citizen Watch Report. It says China military is on high alert amid widening internal purge. Okay, so what is going on in China? It says insane stuff is happening over in China right now. And this is far from the end, with thousands of officers having risen through the ranks under Zhang Yongjia and Lu Zhenli. These individuals now recognize they are primary targets for a systemic purge. Mobile devices have been seized across ranks, and all units are now on high alert. Okay, there's talks, all right, conflicting reports that there may have been leaked intel to the United States by these top officials. You know what I'm saying? And so it says China's top general has been ousted and placed under investigation in the latest military purge. General Zhang Yaojia allegedly committed severe violations of party discipline and state laws. China's top general has been removed and placed under investigation for misconduct in Chinese President Xi Jinping's latest purge of leading military commanders. Okay. The general is being investigated for allegedly committing severe violations. All right. It says the general served as vice chairman on China's Central Military Commission and was second only to Xi in military authority. All right. So is different reports saying that there may be a coup that is that's been going on within the People's Republic Army. You know what I'm saying? I think that's how you say it. The People's, was it the Communist Party? Yeah. So anyway, there seemed to be a coup within the top ranks. Okay. And Xi Jinping is, pretty much taking out all of his top generals. Okay, and that's, it couldn't have come at a more inopportune moment because, Iran is about to be attacked, and meanwhile, it pretty much weakens their chances of taking Taiwan. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, this is the Lord that's doing all of this. All right, it's the Lord that's doing all of this, man. I would not put it past that the CIA has a hand in to play in this. You know what I'm saying? Put nothing past these devils. All right, we saw them infiltrate Iran, okay, and cause an entire coup over in Iran. Now there's a whole shakeup in China's top military branch. You see? None of this is by coincidence. So I mentioned this precept. Let me grab it. This is in Isaiah chapter 13. And I'll close this out. All right. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 3. It says, I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations. All right. Gathered together, the Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. Okay. So it's time to buckle down, man. You know what I'm saying? And tighten up in the spirit, because it's about to be a bumpy ride. I mean, a bumpy ride. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to cut that there. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachar Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.